Howdy folks, today is Wednesday, coming off of our big weekend trip to Cincinnati at the SCG, where we played in a bunch of huge tournaments. There are a ton of other people who have spent a good deal of time covering the weekend, so I'm not going to go super into it, but one of the things I did find over the weekend was I saw the success of this particular deck that I'm playing today, and I wanted to try it out for myself, because up until this weekend, I had kind of thought that it was like a meme deck, so I was a little hesitated to try it out. Today we are playing Fluctuator. So this is like an aggro combo deck that is based around the card of its namesake. 2 mana artifact, cycling costs 2 less to activate. So the deck is essentially entirely cards that have cycling and that become free when you have a Fluctuator in play. So the primary win condition is to play either a Drainous Stinger, which deals a damage whenever you cycle, or one of these 1-drops, Flourishing Fox or Marauding Mako, which are 1/1s that whenever you cycle, they get a +1/+1 counter. So we're trying to make one of these guys huge, or use Drainous Stinger to deal non-combat damage as we cycle through our whole deck. So that's like the combo element. The aggro element is mostly for when we are trying to play without the card Fluctuator, whether that's because the opponent has denied us the card entirely, or we just haven't found it yet. So we're using just some cards that get cheaper as you cycle cards, so like Chitin Gravestalker, 5/4 that costs less for each creature in your graveyard, and Hollow 1, which gets cheaper as you cycle cards. You can cycle 3 cards and cast it for free. Those are just like some huge dudes that we can drop relatively early ahead of their mana costs after cycling a few times. I'm trying out Valiant Rescuer. This was one of the better cards in the cycling deck during Ikoria Standard. It gives you like a go wide element to the deck, although it does make you like spread out your cycling over the course of your and your opponent's turn. So I guess we'll see how good that is. And then Vile Manifestation, 2 mana 0/4 gets +1/+1 for each cycler in your graveyard. I assume this will also just become massive over time as we do the thing the deck is meant to do. While I don't expect this to be like a main win condition, it's, I don't know, probably pretty good. 4 toughness is a lot of toughness, so we'll see how good this card is as well. One of the major plans of the deck is to cycle a creature into the graveyard and then bring it back with either Unearth or Jolted Awake. Both of these cards can let you bring back any of like the main win condition creatures. Unearth can grab a 3, we're not playing any 3s, but Jolted Awake can grab an artifact as well. So if they have like in turn 1 Inquisition, they take the Fluctuator, we draw Jolted Awake, we get the Fluctuator back. Not playing the full 8 of these, just to I don't want to rely too heavily on the graveyard, but I would like access to it. And then these cards are just some like good cyclers. Street Wraith is always free. Draineth Healer, I don't think the life gain is ever going to like really matter, but it does have cycling 1, which it's probably one of the best cards with cycling 1 that isn't Draineth Stinger. Cards with cycling 1 are relatively few and far between. And then we have Rapid Decay. That's just like a main deck sideboard card. Hogak and Nadu are 2 of the bigger decks in the format right now, and this does a little bit of work to mitigate their strength against you, so we've moved one of the main deck. One key thing about this deck is that the lands are trash. Blasted Landscape, which doesn't add a color, and Capital City, which costs a mana to add a color, are the only untapped lands that we have, like true untapped lands. Everything else comes in tapped because it cycles. We do have Rift's Grove, which is technically an untapped land, but you do need to return a land to your hand in order to use it. This is included in the deck so that you can, like, turn 1, play one of these tap lands, turn 2, tap it for mana, and return it to your hand so that you can cycle it. That works really well with, like, the actual card Fluctuator, because that gives you the mana to cast the Fluctuator, and then also gives you the card to cycle away with it. So, yeah, the deck is relatively straightforward. There are a few changes that I've made from the lists that I've seen online. So we're just going to test out and, like, try and learn about the deck today, basically. In the sideboard, I have just so much removal. Archfiend of Ifnir and Spectacular Pileup. Relatively expensive, but they are very good at keeping the board absolutely clear of anything. Fuel the Flames, 2 damage to each creature, is great for anyone that wants to go wide. Shredded Sails hits Nadu, and it hits just like a ton of artifacts in the format. Very good in the mirror, if anyone is actually doing that. I doubt they will be, but the fact that this kills a Nadu by itself is, I think, worth the inclusion. A couple more Rapid Decays for graveyards. Rune of Protection red. This is like a Circle of Protection with cycling. We've got this just because, like, we don't have a great answer to burn. So, I don't know, I'm gonna try this out. I don't expect to, like, ever bring this in, but it's something that we have access to. And then Angel Song, there's a couple decks that really try to, like, cheese out a win in one turn between, like, Infect. You can buy time against Hogak, things like that. So preventing combat damage is probably a decent way to buy the time we need to find our combo piece. So again, we'll just see how good that is. Yeah, this is a deck that Doot has been working on quite a bit in the Discord over the last year or so. I know very little about the strategy, but seeing its success from this weekend, I figured I would take it for a spin. So we're going to get started, jump into our first round here in a moment. I'll see you there. Alrighty, we are back with Fluctuator. It's round 1 of our event. Playing against Miss Input. I believe that they were on, like, a humans deck last time I played them. We'll see if that remains true. This hand's insane, so we will keep. Multiple options for a turn 1, or I guess turn 2 beater with a Street Wraith to make it big. We'll just start off with our Massive and pass. Oh, they're on Swamp. Oh, they're on Hogak. Okay. So we are just generally racing. They have a life from the loam. That's worth knowing about. Play Canyon Slough. We'll get the Mako down. Alright, they dredge the loam. Circle of the Land Druid. I wonder if they're on, Insidious Roots. That'd be cool. They got the Thespian stage, so they're on Dark Depths for sure. Looks like they're casting a Hogak from hand. So that's a giant thing that we'll need to be concerned about. Yep, you got a Hogak. Alright, so Capital City means that we can cycle. So I think we're going to Flourishing Fox, cycle Draenus Stinger, and then unearth it. Because we're mostly just trying to race here. Second Draenus Stinger is pretty good. Alright, we will pass. And if they do a bunch of attacking, we can really just get them on the crackback. Hopefully this Street Wraith draws into something cool. It'd be really sweet if we could get a Fluctuator on the next turn. Alright, they loam back a Thespian stage. Which is fine. Okay, no Fluctuator yet. And I don't think I'm going to cast anything either. Like, I could play the Draenus Stinger and then cycle Street Wraith, but I'd rather... Well, I guess we can just move the Street Wraith first. See if we get the Fluctuator. We do not, but we do get a land. Which means that we get to Draenus Stinger, and then cycle Valiant Rescuer. There's a Draenus Healer. This is not free. Yeah. We could trade with a Hogak as well. I don't think I'm in the business for that, though. I might throw one of these guys in front of it, just to, like, keep out of like, burn range. I don't know what their deck is capable of. I'll throw the Fox in front of it. Because I think I'm just going to try to kill him with Draenus Stinger. Oh, they have a Dark Depths. So we are no longer attacking in any capacity. Alright, well, let's get cycling instead. Okay, we do not get a Fluctuator. And unfortunately, all of this stuff cycles for 2 instead of 1. There's a Street Wraith. Does this cycle for 1? No. I mean, I get to play Hollow One, but I don't have any flyers, and they're just going to attack with Dark Depths. So, they can have that one. Alright, so what are we bringing in? Rapid Decay seems very good. Fuel Flames doesn't do anything. I mean, it kind of does. Shredded Sails don't have any artifacts. Pile Up. This does kill a Dark Depths, but I don't think that that's where I want to be. I'll try the Angel Song over, like, Valiant Rescuer. And then Rapid Decay instead of Valiant Rescuer. Yeah, I don't think that this is the matchup where we want to be trying to go wide. So, I'll try it like that. Okay, this hand has 2 cyclers for 1. I don't think that's good enough. This hand has a turn 2 Fluctuator, which kind of just wins the game. So I'll keep this one. We don't have a way to Draenus Stinger yet. I guess I could cycle it and then jolt it awake. Why is this X'd out? Alright, they just pass. So I will Blasted Landscape. Oh, they might have like a Duress or something, so I do need to get this Fluctuator down. Yeah, we'll just do that. And then pass. Next turn we will play out a Flourishing Fox. Well, no, we'll just jolt it awake. Yeah, they're offering no resistance. Alright, that is a cycler, so we're good on that front. Cycle. Cast, target this. And then we just go to town. Don't have any particular reason to like hold priority on those. Aside from it's just more clicks. But we should be able to just fully get there off of this one Draenus Stinger. Rift's Grove will give us an additional cycle if we need it. I don't want them to see the angel song if I can help it. Okay, so we were able to combo without showing them angel song, which is pretty cool. That was a turn 3, so we will just run it back. Okay, this hand has untapped lands and Fluctuator, so this is certainly a keep. It's also got the Jolted Awake in case they have Inquisition. They do. Well, you will need a second one. We'll play the Expanse. They play White of the Reliquary. That's interesting. What are we trying to do here? I guess just like Capital City, play Flourishing Fox? Pass? Sacrifice another creature, search your library for a land. So they're just like full depths and also playing Hogak. They're not the Turbo Hogak deck. They Bone Shards my Fox. That is fine. I will take 2. They Canker Bloom. Okay, so we will need to either win this turn or win on the turn that we cast Fluctuator. Oh, that makes things a little easier, I guess. Alright, well, we will Capital City. We will Flourishing Fox. We will Jolted Awake, target Fluctuator, make a white. We are sacrificing Canker Bloom for a land. Oh, tricky. Very tricky. Well, fortunately, we drew the second Fluctuator. Unfortunately, we're taking another 3 here. This thing has Vigilance, too. I can't even attack through it. Second one. Dang, we were... looks like we're going to need a guy. What's his name? The, Dranith Stinger. I think I'm going to play Canyon Slough, so I can play Fluctuator and then also play the Dranith Stinger when I draw it next turn. And just hope I don't die before then. They have 2 cards in hand. There's a Canker Bloom. But we will not be able to do the thing I said. Unless I draw the Dranith Stinger, like right here. Well, it's a Dranith. That's for sure. I could play Fluctuator, and then just, in response to this going off, cycle until I find a Jolted Awake, and then continue. Or I could play a Dranith Healer and just gain a bunch of life. But that means that I will need to find my 3rd Fluctuator after this turn. I think I'm going to play the Dranith Healer. And then maybe save the mana for next turn. Just see what happens when we do this. They are still attacking with everything. So that means I need to block with my Fox. But I can also trade with this with the fox. And I will cycle this just to get the power to do so. So Cankerbloom down. Route Farm, bring back Bajuka Bug? Sure. Yeah, that's a Mako. Well, I'm a little safer casting Fluctuator now. I'll need to cycle a few cards before I can Street Wraith, just because my life total is like really low. Oh, that's also pretty good. I could just play this and then block these forever. There's a Jolted Awake, so that means I can find and play a Drainus Stinger now. Eventually. Alright, there's a Drainus Stinger. I will Jolted Awake. I don't think they're gonna have the budget for like a second Bajuka Bug. Unfortunately, I do only have 2 cyclers at the moment. So if we draw like a Fluctuator, I kind of just stop going that turn. We are gaining a bunch of life though, so we will be able to like survive if they have something. And then if I get an Unearth, I'll be able to bring back a second Drainus Stinger. Yeah, I think I will just like dig to my Unearth. They are also at 10. Alright, there's my Unearth. So the problem with playing Unearth is that I only have 1 cycler left, so when I hit my 3rd Fluctuator, I just stop. So we're hoping that we can find 4 more non-Fluctuator cards. Okay, we did not. But I am at 19, and they don't have a way to, like, wipe my board or kill me at the moment. Alright, the Mortuary Mire, grab Cankerbloom. I do only need to cycle 3 cards. Honestly, I only need to cycle 2 cards at the moment because they're not present. They have 1 blocker, and these guys have 2 power. So I might just be able to attack for the win as well. That's fine. I did draw the 3rd one. So if this is all they have, then yeah, that's also fine for me. So as long as I draw a cycler here, we should be good. We will play Fluctuator. Opponent did not like that. And that's the match. Alrighty, round 2 with Fluctuator. Playing against Extra Small Dreams? Excess Dreams? Who can say? They are on like a mill deck, which is going to be very good with this Jolted Awake. Otherwise I think this hand is fine. So I think I'm just going to go glittering into marauding, or if they mill me, I'll get back a Fluctuator, or I just lose my best card to Inquisition. Alright, they take the Jolted Awake. That's fine. I'm sure that nothing bad will happen from that. Oh, that's devastating. Okay, they smallpox. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I'll get rid of a Mako, because I have two of them. They get rid of a rack. They really just kind of like set me back 3 turns with that. That was pretty good. They play Shambling Vent. And then blackmail me. Choose 3 cards. You can have any of these cards that I know about. Or that you know about. They take the Mako. Reasonable choice. I have a Chitin Gravestalker with 2 creatures in graveyard. Could just play the Vile Manifestation this turn, get a 2-mana 4/4 going. That might not be too bad. So we cast Vile Manifestation. And the only thing that makes this bad is if they have a second Smallpox, because we just bounced a land. So Smallpox will ruin me financially. Anything else is just kind of whatever. There's a Dranis Stinger. I will attack you for 5. For 6 even. For 7 even. Oh, they take themselves down to 11. That's crazy. Talent is fine. 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. So I will discard Dranis Stinger. And then I think you just die. You certainly just die. Actually, I don't even need to show them the Fluctuator. Like, I'm still going to, because that's what the deck is named after. So, we cycle. We cycle. Then we attack for 10. Okay. Alright, well, that went well. I'm not going to bring in any sideboard cards. Maybe pile up? No, I'm not going to have the lands for pile up. Yeah, I don't really think I need anything. This gets rid of a rack, I guess. I'll bring that in over Rapid Decay. Yeah, we'll try like that. Alright, well, this hand has a turn 2 Fluctuator with double jolted backup. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think we'll keep that one. Inquisition? Sure. I have no idea if this is like a standard hand for this deck, or if I'm just getting a little bit lucky. But I feel like being able to jolt it awake a Fluctuator, even after your opponent interacts with it, is quite strong. They take the Fox, which is fine. I'll play my tap land. Do you have another Smallpox? No, they blackmail me. Vile Manifestation, Fluctuator, Shredded Sails. You can take any of those that you like, champ. I mean, yeah, they have to take the Fluctuator there. No land. That's nuts. Love that for me. I will play Capital City. And then I think I just jolted awake Fluctuator. get that back so we can start doing the thing. Shrieking Affliction, sure, I will never be under 4 cards ever in my life. Okay, now what? We can Vile Manifestation plus Flourishing Fox? Put down 2 creatures? Or I could just like draw a ton of cards and try to find a Draenus Stinger. Actually that might not be too ideal. Maybe we put down like a threat first, and then we can risk Grove to play the second threat that we get. But I'm just looking for a stinger here. Hopefully we find one in the next like 5 cards. Unearth, that's almost something. I'll cycle the Unearth. There's a stinger, okay. So we can cycle that, and then play Risk Grove. Return this. Jolted Awake, the Draenus Stinger. White. Yes, please. And then I think I'm just gonna chill. If they smallpox or something, I'll get rid of the fox. Yeah. Actually, do I get rid of the fox? I think I actually get rid of the Draenus Stinger, no? Because this does like 19 damage. We'll get rid of Capital City. And alright, cycle. I think we're just going to cycle until we find a Jolted Awake. How many do we have? 1, 2, so... Oh right, I forgot that we have bricks in the deck. So we'll either try to get the Fox to 19 or a Jolted Awake, whichever comes first. Alright, well, Fox got to 19. This deck is pretty good. Go to game 3. Already round 3 with Fluctuator playing against Octopus with a hammer. I don't know what they're on, but it's probably some nonsense. This hand has a turn 1 Mako, or turn 2 Mako, and then do nothing. I think we can draw a better hand than this, I'll be real. Like this one with a Fluctuator in it. Yep, that's a keep. We'll just get rid of any old land. Alright, they start off with a Seachrome Coast. They have a Luris as a friend. I will play Umbral Expanse past the turn. Ideally, they tap out. They did not tap out. And Unearth does not bring back a Fluctuator, unfortunately. So I think we will play conservatively and do nothing instead of try to jam out the Fluctuator. Aether Hub, that's pretty good. I don't know what that means, actually. I wonder if this is, like, breakfast. No, my Fluctuator. That's a shame. That's a Valiant Rescuer. I guess I could play that. And then, like, cycle Truth. Make a dude. They kill my Rescuer? They don't kill the Rescuer. Okay. Well, we drew a fox. That's not bad. They cycle step through, grabbing Cephalid Illusionist. So, are we going to get... Is this the Four Horsemen deck that I saw earlier today? Juco. Cephalid. Alright, you can do whatever bullshit. Yeah, this is the Four Horsemen deck. Alright, well, this person really just wants to play with themselves, I guess. So, potentially for the next 12 to 20 minutes, we're just going to be doing this. I will come back whenever something happens. Okay, so what happened here is they use Cephalid Illusionist to mill through their whole deck. They get Narcomoebas back whenever they do that. They cast Dread Return, sacrificing the Narcomoebas to bring back Hardened Academic. This says whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So you can either make the Hardened Academic huge by repeating that loop over and over, or they have an Emperor of Bones, which can grab some blue-black creature that says whenever you mill a card, it gets +1/+1. So they put the blue-black card under Emperor of Bones, and then use this to put a counter on it to play the blue-black creature. This gives it haste, and then they can go and attack with the blue-black creature as well. They use a Gaia's Blessing to reset their deck through that. So that is what they are trying to do, and it is a frankly tremendous waste of every player's time. But that's what they've chosen to do, so... I will bring in my Rapid Decays. I guess I will bring an Angel Song, because it, like, stops the blue-black guy. I'll just take out a bunch of creatures. And run it like that. Alright, I will play first. They show me a Luris, I assume. Yes. This hand is all creature, no anything that isn't a creature. And I think that we're just gonna get run over if we don't, like, do something cool. This handling is one land, but I do have 2 Draenus to find a land. So I guess we'll try it. And then if they, like, don't read the card Jolted Awake and take Fluctuator with this Inquisition, then we're doing okay. I'd probably just take Jolted Awake, though. They did take Jolted Awake. So if we draw an untapped land, we're doing pretty good. If we draw a second Fluctuator, we're not doing pretty good. It's like I'll drain a Stinger. Well, there's a Rapid Decay if we ever find a second land. They play Aether Hub. And Soul Guide Lantern. Sure. I will cycle Street Wraith. There's a land. That's good. They could very well just kill me here. So that's what they did last game. Cephalid. Ooh, Blasted Landscape. So like, the thing is, I kind of need to keep up this rapid decay. So I can't really do anything. I guess I'll just cycle the Draenith Stinger. Until we get a 4th land? Jesus. Shuko. That's fine. I don't think they know that I have Rapid Decay in my hand, so I will let them do this. Just like a bunch. And then maybe when something triggers or when they try to cast something, I'll cast the Rapid Decay. At the moment we have a Dread Return. We also have Gaia's Blessing to get in there. Which is like how they reset their deck. Alright, so they have an Archamiba, no Gaia's Blessing. I think they can just have the Archamiba, that's fine. I would like to go after this Gaia's Blessing. So we cast target, Gaia's Blessing, target, Dread Return, target, Hardened Academic. I mean, this is like the easy kill. This is castable though. I think I'll take that one. Alright, let's see what you can do without any of those. They do still have a Dread Return, they do still have Hardened Academic, so it will kind of depend on just like the order in which they mill things. Okay, there's a Dread Return, but they have 6 cards left in library. I don't think they can get anything back that matters. They don't have like a lab man or anything, so yeah. So basically the plan is just going to be disrupt their graveyard with the card Rapid Decay, hoping that they don't have Spell Pierce up. Which is that's a very healthy line of play. Very good for the format at large. Alright, this hand has... I mean, it's a good hand, but not against an opponent that doesn't want to be playing Magic. This hand is also just a do-nothing against an opponent that doesn't want to play Magic. This hand has a Fluctuator and lands to cast it, so I guess we'll keep. Get rid of Angel Song, get rid of Hollow One. Grant and Forge Tender. Sure. I'm going to cycle Street Wraith, see if we get like a different land. We do not. Do get a 1-mana cycler though. There's a Nomad. Yeah, I'll take one. I'm gonna cycle this guy. There's a land. There's another land. I think I have to wait until turn 3, which is really unfortunate because the opponent's going to win the game this turn. But, you know. That do be how it be, Yugi. There's a Soul Guide Lantern, which is notably not the card Cephalid Illusionist. They attack for 2. They have a second Fluctuator. They Spell Pierce. I cast Risk Grove. And then I'll make them pop their Soul Guide. They put Luris in hand, which is fine. If I can untap land here, which I do, we can Blasted Landscape, Fluctuator. They don't have a Spell Pierce, which is sick. I'm just gonna start cycling, see what happens. Vile Manifestation's not bad. Unearth also isn't bad, but I can do better. That's a Marauding Mako. What's in the graveyard? I think we can do better than Marauding Mako. I think I want like a Flourishing Fox or something. I don't have the black mana to cast this. There's a Flourishing Fox. So that is at least something. They're gonna cast Luris this turn, unless they draw their Cephalid. And Luris will get back Soul Guide Lantern, so we would no longer have access to the graveyard. Which means that this Jolted Awake isn't gonna do anything. Which means I'm gonna need to cycle until I find like a Drana Stinger or something. Alright, well, we will continue our cycling adventure. I'll cast a Drana Stinger. And then, I don't know, I'll attack with a Fox, why not? They block. Okay, so they are just absolutely not on the breakfast plan. Which is good, because I think I cycled away all my graveyard hate. Now I got one left. They draw. I wish this was an instant. That'd be sweet. Soul Guide returns. Exile, whatever. Alright, I'm gonna do a little bit of cycling. Okay, they do pop the Burrington now, which is very good. Because now I go to my turn. And I can deal damage again. They draw a card. And I'm just going to cycle until I find another Stinger. and continue cycling. Okay, there's a stinger. So now I'm going to attack with a next to lethal fox. They lose Luris. I play stinger. And I'll just cycle until I whiff. I think I have one whiff left. One Fluctuator. So 4 cards. 3 cards. 2 cards. If this is a cycler, we're good. And it is. Okay, well, we beat whatever this horrific menace is. So that's good. Better than Nadu, anyway. Alright, well, we're 3-0 with Fluctuator tonight, headed in round 4, playing against Devin. I think that they are on like a mono-white taxes deck, which I think that we'll be able to handle. This is a turn 2 Fluctuator, turn 1 Draenus Stinger. Yeah, this is fine. I might just turn this into a tap land, honestly. Kinda don't care. Cause, like, I need the mana for Jolted Awake to bring back a Draenus Stinger. Oh, that's horrific for me, actually. There's no basics in this deck. Oh, that's so bad. Well, I've been set back infinitely. I will never be able to financially recover from this. On second thought, there's a Risk Grove. They play Thalia, which means that we can't Fluctuator until 3 now. I think I am going to cycle as Draenus Stinger. Just like see if we get a Jolted Awake or something. No, but there's an Umbral Embrace. Honestly, this might be one of those where we like play actual creatures, which is not something that I normally anticipate with this sort of strategy. Does Palace Jailer target nothing? What could you be doing for 4 mana? Lead Spellbinder. Okay, so we are not Fluctuatoring. I think I'm going to pitch Flourishing Fox, play Valiant Rescuer next turn. I'm curious what they're going to hit off of this Spellbinder. They take the Valiant Rescuer. And then attack for like a billion. Well, at the moment, I can take no additional attacks. Cycle. Another Flourishing Fox. Okay, so there's my Jolted Awake. Alright, so what are we doing? This has for each artifact and creature in your graveyard. So that costs 4 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does this cost extra? That's 2 more to cast. Okay, so we will not be able to chump block with Valiant. Let's see. What else can we do here? If I Flourishing Fox plus Marauding Mako. I don't have a 1-mana cycler though, is the thing. Like, I kind of want to just pitch the Flourishing Fox. So like, I pitch 2 mana to bring it back. That's nothing. Man, this is hard. I can't play Fluctuator because I'll just die. I think I have to play... Man, this is really rough, actually. So if I tap this for white, play Marauding Mako off of Rith's Grove, then I can cycle Flourishing Fox? Or I just play Capital City, play Marauding Mako, play Flourishing Fox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Block this, I guess, with one of them. Yeah. And then I'll have, like, something to do once I cast the Fluctuator next turn. Sure, I guess. I don't know if there's a correct play there, honestly. Like, they put me in a really desperate situation. Specifically with the White Orchid Phantom. I understand why dude has a plains on his sideboard now. It's a lot of mana. Luminarch Aspirant. Oh, that pushes lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the air. Christ, okay, that's super lethal. So 5, 6, 7 in the air. So I'll have to block both of these now. Of course, I attack with everything. Okay, this puts 4 creatures in my graveyard for Chitin. What do I even do if... Because I can get rid of Thalia. Okay. I don't have a way to win the game next turn, so I have to concede. The White Orchid Phantom destroyed me. Fortunately, I have 6 board wipes in the sideboard. I might bring in these Shredded Sails too, honestly. Because, like, they might be trying to, like, load up that one guy. You know the guy. It's the guy. Elite Spellbinder. So I'll just bring in like a ton of removal and see what happens. I'd love to go first, thank you. This is a turn 2 Fluctuator. I tap land. They light stall, which is fine. I think I just have to put the Fluctuator down right now. And then try to do something next turn with it. Because, like, it's more safe in play than it is in hand. They could, like, have a Thalia, they could have Elite Spellbinder, or any of that garbage. There's a Thalia, so I have basically 2 mana, I guess, to find something to do. Okay, this is Jolted Awake. So with that, I can just make one of my guys. So, ooh, that's pretty good. I might just want to do this, actually. 2 damage to each creature. I'm gonna hold on to that, see what we get. It's another Jolted Awake. Draineth Healer. That's okay. I'd rather be doing other stuff, such as, but not limited to, Draineth Stinger. That costs 2 mana to do, like, either way, so I guess we'll just cast it. It's like a Skyclave apparition? Could be anything. Skyclave, Lead Spellbinder. Yeah, it's Lead Spellbinder. I mean, that'll take Fuel the Flames. Do I want them to take Fuel the Flames? No, I would rather cycle this and just like hit a land. So that way they have to take a Jolted Awake, or maybe I cycle everything to hit 3 lands. Because... well, no. Okay, so if we have a Jolted Awake, we can grab something else now, because they're tapped down. So they have to take a Jolted Awake, and then I can cycle into, you know, whatever else. Another Draenith Stinger or whatever. Cycle... Yeah, we'll just do like all of our cycling now. Try to find it. There's a bunch of lands, so we would have been able to do the 3 land play. Okay, there's a Fluctuator, so we kind of die there. I'm just gonna keep cycling until I find the thing I need. That's a Mako. We'll just make a big guy. No, I just want to drain a Stinger. There are also like at 6. So unless there's like 2 Fluctuators right next to each other coming up right now, I think we're fine. It's honestly we're at the point where it's just better to draw the 2 fucking cards. Okay. 1 Drain Stinger was enough. And we will just run it back. Hope that the game 3 looks more like game 2 than it did game 1. There's no way that any of these 5 drops are like actually playable. I don't think I'll ever get to 5 mana. Okay, we have a turn 2 Fluctuator, which is good enough for me. And a Fuel the Flames. Play the Mastiff. I assume they drop like a Thalia. Or Darkwood Phantom. Fuck! Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll shuffle, why not? Alright, well, we are once again 3 turns away from a Fluctuator. Nevermore naming Fluctuator. That's rough. So now we have to play fair. That's fine. I'll play fair. I don't want to, but I will. So now we're looking for our 1-drops, of which Draenith Healer is not. Do I just play it because it has 2 power? No, I need to cycle it. I can also Shredded Sails, I guess. It's a Thalia. And a Recruitment Officer. Yeah, I will cycle Draenith Healer. And then in 2 turns I will Fuel the Flames. Take 2. Second Fuel the Flames is quite nice. Hopefully they play some other creature that has 2 toughness. Draw a second Fluctuator, which isn't super great. We will Fuel the Flames. They have nothing, which is pretty good. I'll probably cycle this Shredded Sails, I think. Yeah, Jolted Awake only hits Draenith Healer right now, which I don't really need. I'll probably just cycle this Shredded Sails. And then also whatever comes after it. This is Story of a Girl. Runes of Trocare. Draenith Stinger is pretty good. Play Draenith Stinger. Play Grove. Return Landscape. Then what? Do I Jolted Awake this healer? That's not terrible. Recoup a little bit of life. What is this? Swords to Plowshares target this. Okay. Well, I will cycle. Hit you for 1. And I will cycle. Hit you for another 1. Draw a 3rd Fluctuator. Gain 2. Get that. Say yes. And pass turn. I don't know what could be in their hand. Aside from just like a ton of lands. Oh, it's probably okay, it's creature removal. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm back at 15 anyway. That Draenith Healer was really only supposed to gain me life, and it gained me 3 life, so that's something. I will cycle Shredded Sails. This would be a good time to have like Zenith Flare in the list somewhere. I don't need this land. There's a Mako. And a Canyon Slough. So we will just continue checking them for removal. Lay down arms. Sure. Mana value. Cycle. There's another Mako. How many swords to plowshares do you have? Because I got hella sharks. Well, we're at 4 right now. Back to 21. We will cycle. Another Fuel the Flames. That's a Jolted Awake, which is... well, all of those creatures have actually been exiled, so we'll probably just hang on to that. Hold it until we find like a stinger or something. White Orchid Phantom, sure. They hit a red source instead of Rift's Grove, which is fine. I draw a pile up. That's neat. That means I can cycle one of these Fuel the Flames. Another Jolted Awake. I'll grab my healer. Cause like, there's no way they have the 5th Swords to Plowshares effect. Oh, they do. Anointed Peacekeeper. Oh, that looks at my hand. That's fine. Well, we've got more white sources in the deck, I suppose, so we'll find them eventually. Are they naming Spectacular Pileup? No. They choose Fuel the Flames. Which means that one more land lets me pile up. Forgot that these are white sources. They have no creatures in the graveyard? That's correct. That's a stinger. Which is not nothing. Alright, they attack. Take me down to like 17 or something. 16. 1, 2, 3, nevermore. Sure. What are we naming? Are we naming Spectacular Pileup? Then name Stinger. That's fine. That's very adjacent to not naming anything. There's a capital city. Means I get to blow up lands now. I can also cycle this Fuel the Flames. I'll take 5 one more time. There's a Thalia. Sure. Do I need like another land? It's a hollow one, which is notably bigger than all of their stuff right now. Cycle 1. That is the land I need. Okay, we'll play this. I'll just play Hollow One. And if they deal with Hollow One, then We can pile up after that and then Jolted Awake the Stinger again. Alright, they go to attacks. Just attack with the flyer. Kinda knew that. And then just pass. Another pile up. They take the 4. White. White. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now we're back to the do-nothing game. Nope, they have another Thalia. That's fine. I think a Mako would be so cool. Pretty sure I have 6 left. Maybe 5 left? That's a blasted landscape. That's kind of the opposite of what I asked for. We only have 2 energy. So there's a Draenus Stinger. Then I'll cycle this. Did I side out any hollow ones? No. Excellent. We do still have 3 hollow ones. It's a Street Wraith. That puts me to 5. That's kind of gross. And a Massive. I would really like to draw a hollow one. Drew a Jolted Awake instead. That does kind of just kill them if I draw like a Cycler next turn. And they draw nothing. They played a Plains, they drew nothing. So I go to 3. I don't go to 3. There's my hollow one. I'll grab another Draenus Stinger. Yes. We will cycle Pile Up. Hit you for 2. We'll cycle Massive. Hit you for 2. And we have 1 mana left for Hollow One. Unless we get like a Draenith. I don't think we have any left. Yeah. We'll just cast Hollow One. And now you have to contend with a 4/4. Oh, they're tapping mana, so they didn't draw nothing. Can't cast spells, that's fine. Don't super care about that, I'll be real. Alright, this is a card with cycling. So it will be cycled, and then I assume we draw another card with cycling because we've hit all the ones that don't have cycling. We do! Alright, that was really, really difficult. Good games to dev. That was so hard. Man, wow. Didn't expect to pull that one out. Alright, wow. Okay. 4-0 with Fluctuator. Was not expecting that. Wow, yeah, I'm very surprised by the results of tonight. There was some like really strong things going on. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if like I was just getting lucky with some of the draws, or if the deck really just does offer that high level of resiliency. But I like barely mulliganed all night, and there was some like really powerful stuff going on. Basically every hand with a Fluctuator is not only keepable, but extremely strong. Like, even if you can't cast it on turn 2 via all of your tap lands, like, it's still just going to win the game the turn after you put it down. Or you could spend some time setting up beforehand and, like, acting innocuous, and then just, like, throw it down and immediately win. I feel like I was playing a little more hesitantly than I needed to, as well. Like, I was being very reserved in a lot of my plays, and I don't know if that's something that the deck demands. Like, I feel like I probably could have gotten a little bit more mileage out of some of the hands that I kept. As far as, like, the composition goes, I really, really, really like the number of reanimation spells that we had. I think 6 is, like, perfect. I could hear going to 7, especially in metas where black is very prevalent. But, like, man, Jolted Awake is just so strong. It's... this card, like, blew me away with how good it was. What are some changes I would make to the list? This Chitin Gravestalker doesn't need to be here, and I think that we can go down to 2 hollow ones. There were just so few instances where I wanted to be, like, spending mana to play this sort of thing. Although, I guess in the last game, the hollow ones were pretty good at fighting the opponent's 2/2s and 3/3s. Vile Manifestation also feels quite good at 2. This card can just, like, come down and take over any board state because it comes in at, like, 10, 20 power. And it's, like, a little bit hard to kill. So I am liking Vile Manifestation. Valiant Rescuer, however, garbage. This card is not worth anything. It's, like, super fragile body. The tokens don't matter at all. Like, we have the Draenus Stinger to kind of, like, emulate going wide in its ability to avoid, like, trying to fight through a board state. So I just don't think that this card is necessary whatsoever. It dies all the time, and cycling 2 is, like, a real cost. Like, I would rather cut these and then play 2 more Draenus Healer, just because cycling 1 is just that much better. There's also, like, a fair number of utility cards that we could play main deck instead of these as well. Like, you could play a Fuel the Flames main deck. You could play Shredded Sails main deck. I am curious what a sideboard might look like that's a little bit more, like, thought through than mine was. This is mostly just cards that I found in a search for Oracle Text Cycling 2. But I do think that we need, like, a basic and maybe something else to do and rely on when we don't have the opportunity to play Fluctuator. Like, what's the card called? Zenith Flare? Maybe just, like, 1 Zenith Flare in here, just to kind of, like, help the fair red-white aggro beatdown plan. But overall, the deck was super tight. It felt very straightforward and easy to pilot. Like, I didn't think that I was, like, put into too many situations where I had to make a desperate choice, and the results of that choice were game, like, altering one way or the other. Like, the deck can definitely carry you a little bit because it's very focused on doing its thing. But yeah, I was very impressed with the build. These cycling lands will also definitely get cheaper over time, so this mana base should improve as well, ideally. We just got both of these cards, the Glittering Massive and Umbral Expanse, in like very recent commander sets, and this is the type of card that they just print 20 times a year. So I'm expecting these cards both to hit 50 cents by like this time next year. And that will be... It'll offer a decent little injection into the strength of this deck. But yeah, I'm going to be picking this deck up in paper and adding it to my lineup. I was very impressed with how it played. So, but that's all we've got for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!